Hello everyone, welcome back to the lab. I know I haven't been updated for anything for a while. So I guess to start again, I'm bringing everyone this new kind of deck profile that I've been sort of playing and not really playing in the past like a month or maybe even close to 2 months at the moment. I have this build in around early October. Despite the fact Phantom Reach didn't came out until early November, I have this build um, early October just to get prepared. Since we know like majority of the cards, at least the core, the PK cards in the main 80 part. However, starting mid October, I just lost motivation playing Yu-Gi-Oh in general. So like I skipped like two LCS at the moment. Didn't go to any locals really. Didn't play any remote duel. Not even focus on updating like Twitch or YouTube. So yeah, so I didn't really get a chance to show this specific deck and have any real results with it. This past couple days, I was just being bored, and I'm kind of want to try Yu-Gi-Oh again. I played DB and grinded a little bit with it, and it's working like pretty well. And that's why. And since the ban list is like, well, the no sooner date is within a week, and well, we realistically don't know when it's gonna be out. I'm just afraid if the ban list is like actually dropping on the no sooner date, and this deck actually got like sort of destroying some shape or form, and I will lose the opportunity to share it. Therefore, I feel it's a good time to make a profile before it's too late. And I guess there's a lot of people already focused on this topic, PK and Nobles together. I've seen many people test it and like enter LCS with it. However, I think they're approaching the deck a little bit wrong, in my opinion. And I just want to share my thoughts on this topic. So, therefore, without further ado, let's start it with it. So, as you see, this is more, I will call it the skeleton of this deck. It's not really a noble deck in my opinion. Like as you started, there's one Gear Free, one Renault, one Oliver, and that's just pretty much all the Infernoble parts. There's no Augur. Since I want my normal summon to be the better ones that you will see later in the deck. There's no there's only one Oliver, one Renault. If you like pay attention to the spell list, you don't even see Heritage of Chalice. The fact I don't run Augur, then I want to start with the PK cards, and now the PK cards they're warriors, they're not fire. Therefore, the nobles actually has like a very bad synergy with any of those. Because of that, I significantly lower the amount of nobles required. It's like these three are pretty much the minimum you put in your deck to even call it a noble knight deck, right? So that's the noble part. Uh, then the next part, the PK part, around a very like we're gonna say bigger line of no PK cards. There's 3 tier scale, or torrent scale according to its TCG name. Two cloak, two boots, and one of the sheep brigading you search of it. This is the ratio I like. There's really no bad ones you can draw that you will not have any effect. Like if you do draw shape brigading, your boots will not have the grave effect, and hence it sometimes might not be able to banish itself to trigger scales in the graveyard. However, because Phoenix Blade is legal in TCG, that's usually not an issue. And like Phoenix Blade actually combos very well with scales. Scales, on the other hand, is a new card from Phantom Rage. I feel at this point, majority of people know or at least like face it already. Uh, it's like you pitch a card in your hand and foolish a PK card from the deck to graveyard, except for itself, so you can choose between cloak and boots. Usually you mill cloak to get another boots and boots special summon by itself. However, there are some situations where you want to mill boots and get on a trap. Maybe you already have access to cloak in the graveyard. Then it's the second fact when it's in the graveyard and another PK got banished from the graveyard. You get to special summon it from the graveyard and get banished afterwards when I leave the field. So this card by itself is actually just one card full combo, and I will be showing the I will be showing the one card combo in the specific list after I go through the whole deck at the moment. Next will be I still want Durando because Durando is still a broken card, since Durando gets you more than just Noble Knights, and therefore there's still like the very minimum Fire Warrior existing. Red Layer, Fire Flint, that's just the good ratio I think I want to have. Obviously, the connector package, it checks almost every hand trap. The ones it doesn't really guarantee checks, such as like Gamma, you can you can still force Gamma in some shape or form. If you have like red layer connector, you are guaranteed forcing the Gamma. And the other things that doesn't really check are like what are those? Like Gizmo Fox and D Shifter and Nibiru, I think. I think that's it. But those are like if they have it, they have it. You usually can't do anything about it. Unlike other hand trap, you are able to handle it anyway. So this is still the best. Like I can't even tell which normal summon will be better between connector and the torn skill. They actually do different things and check different kind of game situations. However, I will say if you have a choice, it just depends on think about a war situation like if if your normal summon could get gamma, which one will make the board slightly bigger, assuming there's a gamma over there, right? So that's the normal summons. Technically, there are 6 good normal summon that you want to start with. With like either one of them, and that's just the line I know is choosing. One spell striker. This is a weird one off. In this specific combo, I need to search a level 3 of its soul from the search effect, and that cannot be like Dolphin or the PK cards because you don't know which one you started with. Like there are situations where you start connector, then your Isolde actually summoning Torn Skill, so your Isolde cannot grab any PK cards. And there are situations where you start with the PK cards and your Isolde actually might want to summon Dolphin to do another hand check during the mid combo. Then your Isolde cannot search Dolphin. After I check with the entire card pool about level 3 warrior that sort of as an extender or starter, and narrow it down to Spell Striker or Junk Forward. They both like Earth Warrior level 3 then sort of special to myself. Junk Forward is okay. It's more a starter, and Spell Striker is more like an extender, although majority of the time it just a monster with no effect that you search up its sword. The difference is like Junk Forward conflict with Red Layer, and even you start with junk forward connector, since uh, junk forward is actually only 900 attack. So junk forward plus connector, you're actually not able to force gamma. Hence, maybe you to a point you have to take the gamma, you're losing that way, so that can happen. Therefore, at the end, I ended choosing Spell Striker. Also, by the time I was building it, I was still on the triple exchange, triple drag down build, and that like there's a lot more spell cards in the deck for me to really not worry about Spell Striker breaking my hand. So that's why there's this one because I don't think there's any other monster. Let me see, warrior. I don't think there's any other really good level 3 warrior. Arboreal could be one, but Arboreal usually never like participate in making the first link monster, where that's usually the hard part to get you combo. So I also just don't really get to even think about Arborea. I mean, it's a good one if you like always draw something good to start it. And I don't think there's any Captain is just a worse version of either these two. And I think that's it for level 3 warrior. That I know is choosing Spell Striker is the best one I can, in my opinion. The 2 Plague Spread Zombie, this specific combo, you make Needle Fiber and somehow Plague Spreader. Unlike the build I post during late September, early October, where you do like a slightly kind of bigger combo. You don't have 001, you don't have Cohen, and you don't rely on using power tool. So those are essentially because those cards, if you draw it, it's sort of just bricks, right? The extra equip cards, the Coins, the 001s, and this combo I actually don't have any Mecha Phantom Beast in the main deck. Your Rodan actually only provide like token generate. Uh, besides that, besides that, Plague Spreader is also a good discard for either Dolphin or Torn Scale. So So I'll say there's more synergy with it. It's also arguably less bread because you have the following: the Carbonodon and a Guard Dragon. The Guard Dragon could also just be. Let me see. I think the alternate version is Galaxy Serpent, but for the vanilla, Lie and Water are both targets of Gizmo Fox, so that part doesn't really make a difference. In terms of against Invoke, Lie could be a material for Macabre, and Water won't. And in rare situation, a 21 defense might actually happen, but forget about those. Carbonodon is something you mill off Cherubini, since that's how you start your combo. You'll get to see why it's needed after I actually show the combo. Then the equip card, 7 equip minimum. Usually you mill 3, and it will be Phoenix Blade, Smoke Grenade, and one of these. Depends on if you have access to Renault for the combo later. You summon either Torn Scale or Dolphin. That's usually the case. In some situation, you mill 4 to summon Oliver because that's the only way to access your tuner for specific hands. So these are just the best equips. If you play Noble or focus on Noble, you should know that. That's just easy. Rhoda and Foolish. Foolish are not something that usually being played in Nobles in general. However, this deck is more PKs than Nobles. I think about it, it's like more Neospatians than Infernoble cards, right? So, so the Foolish is better because now Foolish can either feel Foolish a PK get you a Warrior of Shape Briganding or Foolish Plague to get you a Tuner. Since it's a card that can access to both Warrior and Tuner at the same time, I think that's worth playing the build. Because before, I think Nobles, a lot of cards, even though they're good, they only serve the purpose playing either Warrior or Tuner, they never both. That's why I knew it was like not making it to the list. Midbreaker, best best card that prevent you being interrupted. Like this card single handedly get rid of, or not get rid of, like play into more than half of the hand trap existing in the format. So that's a good. As you see, there's only 33 cards in the main because the next 7 cards are really just flex spots. I at the beginning, I think I was playing real life. I was playing the typical like from the last for what from 2 months ago the exchange and drag down. And because of these, I want to have a second dolphin in case I have to like pass a dolphin to my opponent. So that was an idea for to fit the last 7 spot. Then there's also another build where if I want to play remote duel, I cannot play exchange. Therefore, drag down is kind of less useful by itself. Therefore, I want to have some hand trap. I just playing like Gamma Ash, and because I have Gamma, I have teleport. So really, the last 7 spots are flexibility. You can run. You can also even run like a typical, just like standard noble. You can just go. You can just go like the standard with like 3 dark rulers, 3 triple T, and an upstart, which is absolutely fine. I don't see any problem with it. Um, it really based on your personal choice at the moment, because this is a single player deck, right? So do whatever you like for the last 7 spots. I give like pretty much 3 different options you can already have, and you can just choose the one you like. Uh, so that's it for the main. This is the skeleton do whatever you want for the last 7. I'll skip side for now. Going to extra. Extra has to be these exact 15 cards. I couldn't even think there's any better options to replace any of these. It's sold Noble deck or a deck. It's sold out deck. Cherubini is like as good as it's sold since Cherubini now provide by itself is a link to plus you mill Carbonodon and that gives you a level 2 tuner. Like you can do combo with just Cherubini if your hands are awkward enough and still full combo. Um, that's another topic why I thought about Junk Forward because Junk Forward is also a level 3 and it can help making Cherubini and it's sold at the same time. It just the fact if it's 1k attack, just 100 more, I will run this over Spell Striker and maybe another copy of Relier. But the fact it's only 900 means you can check Gamma. That's just a big oof for this one specifically. Fiber is fiber, obviously. Barricade board is something I don't see like a typical standard build play. Barricade board is something, it's like another generic link to machine. And since there's like nodes, there's a one. Getting to the way getting to Aurodon is actually not that easy. There's no machine tuner for the deck to fiber single card into Aurodon. So usually you have to use fiber into Marcher, then use fiber and Marcher into Aurodon. However, sometimes you have to link away the fiber into Cross. So depends on the game board. You might not have another tuner to make a second fiber, and barricade just become the best one. Like I find out if I have space, like let me see, 16 extra deck, I'll take out barricade board and run 2 assault 2 fiber, so it kind of focus on every different possible situation. Because all you need is a second link too. However, there's only 15 and I can take out either of the other cards. So at the end, barricade board just become it serves like a card being only taking one spot, but at the same time being the second is hold and second fiber. Because I think barricade is better in this spot. Cross I mentioned already. Aurodon, that's how you make your token to synchro summon into bigger monsters. Appaloosa and Access Code Talker. The let me think. The last Infernoble build I post, I don't think there's any link for in it. Even it does, that's like an option choice. This one, I'm actually making Appaloosa before I get to Viper. So you actually have another layer of defense during your combos. And whenever you go in second, you don't really need to worry about a hand trap as much as you when you go first. You can make access before you make fiber and try to clear the board a little bit. It's actually a big threat if your opponent just let it go. I also I've linked away my access code talker into a link cross. I've done that. People actually saw that on stream a couple days ago. Something you can do. It's quite fun to see as since you don't get to. There's actually a decent amount of different attributes. Let me see. There's cross and Soda are light. Those are guaranteed. Uh, Barricade board and Cherubini are dark. Fiber is water. Aurodon and Appaloosa are wind. So technically you can pop 4 at most. You're only missing fire and earth. And popping 4 is usually enough, if needed. Usually popping 1 or 2 is needed already. So yeah, that's why Access like I'll show you after I get to the combo. Uh Synchro Monsters, Charles Rowland, self-explanatory noble deck. Despite the fact I run very minimum noble card, it's still a noble deck in my opinion. Coral Dragon Tatsunoko, that's just part of the combo. You'll see why it's needed for this. Like when I get to the combo section. Marcher, Arclight, Savage. Marcher is actually the other machine you need to make Aurodon. So that's actually quite important. I mean, we've been playing this card for what half year or more, and we know how it's good. Arclight is arguably the one I summon the least, honestly. If I really have to cut anything, it will be cutting Arclight. But without it, like if people know you don't play Arclight and they will just keep their hand trap, like they'll keep the Nibiru when you get to Marcher, right? So you still kind of have to. Since the combo, I usually go let me see. After you fiber cross, you get to a point where 2-1 2-3, and then you have a 3-2-1 on the board. Depends on game situation. Some people go into Arclight and use the other level 2 tuner to make Aurodon. But in this specific build, I actually go to 2 level 3. It'll be like Marcher and Tatsunoko, and then Tatsunoko into Coral Dragon. You'll see later. Savage Dragon, self-explanatory. It's one of the best level 8 synchro at the moment. Even arguably one of the best generic synchro monster existing at the moment. So yeah, this is the extra deck. Side deck is just even more personal preference. In terms of board wipes, because the nature of the PK cards, especially the shape breeding, you cannot run trap cards. So say bye to Imperm and Evenly. I tried it. I hated having a combo searching a brick, or I just drew the brick with something I need to use. So forget about those. And after that, the only thing left in terms of like background removal are just Lightning Storm, Feather Duster. Reboot is arguably okay since Reboot is just so strong by itself, and it's also one of. Um, I guess Reboot is a pass. That's probably the only other trap you can run in the entire deck. Besides that, there's about like what 10, 11 spot. That just based on what you choose. Like these empty spot on the side are heavily depends on the spots you choose in the main deck. Like if you run already hand traps, such as this version I played a couple the past week. I already have hand traps in the main, so I want to commit more hand traps in the side. And at the same time, I saved a couple spots for going first, going first cards, and left was the back removal. That's a way. The other way, like in this one, since I just completely giving up going rather, because since I focus on going first so much, there's not like unrealistic to even run. I have to devote like the entire 10 spots hand traps to even make the individual hand trap effective. Therefore, I just run completely going second and in the side, and that's like the 10 cards I choose. It really depends on your choice of the 7, then you to figure out your choice of the 10 in the side. In general, like, let me see. I think last LCS, if I remember correct, Cam and Kamal were playing the Noble with, I think their build or something, or in terms of the free spots. Uh, I think their build, or ignore the skeleton part. Their free spots were like Dark Cooler, Triple T, Upstart, and they filled the side with about 10 hand traps plus some 5 or 6 board wipes or backward removals, if I remember correct. Uh, I think that's their build that topped the last LCS. You can also run that ratio, which is fine, arguably another choice. Um, there's really not much difference. Ultimately, it depends on the luck of you, how well you can draw those cards. So yeah, this is pretty much the main and side and extra. Uh, Next, I guess we'll show some combos going to solo mode. I'll keep this. So, uh, let me see. So I think the first thing people interested most is about torrent scale by itself. Actually, let me use something useless. Oh wait, not this one. So imagine you open with torrent scale and something you want to discard for it. The play is you go normal pitch, mill your cloak banish yourself, search. Because you have a PK on the board, you get to special. These two into Cherubini. Cherubini at this point will mill your Carbonodon. this is gonna become your tuner access later in the game. Then you go banish boots. Boots will search the trap. This will trigger scale. Then you activate the trap, summon it. These two will become your Isolde. And Isolde search the level 3 we talk about, which will be here. And at this point, you Isolde mill like different number, depends on your hand. If you have absolutely nothing, you can mill a Durendo, summon Renault, then grab a Durendo, search to get your 5 flint. So that's a way. If you already, like, for example, have Durendo in hand, you can Isolde mill 3. 1, 2, 3. Summon your dolphin. Then Durendo grab 5 flint, summon it. That will be enough monsters. If like that, just different ways to do the thing. At this point I'll keep showing about the single card. So we summon Renault. So Renault get Durendo search 5 flint special. Since this specific hand you actually haven't seen your opponent's hand, right? You don't have access to Dolphin or drag down exchange those kind of cards. So just to be safe, it probably doesn't matter. Return to Appaloosa with 2. And at this point, so you won't summon your tuner until you put Appaloosa on the board. Therefore, you have a lot of safety in terms of like your fibers always being protected. 2 monsters into fiber. Fiber summon now Plague. Link the fiber into Cross. This specific combo, like unlike other nobles, you are almost never afraid of Token Collector. Because you always make Appaloosa before you even get to access to Fiber Cross. So that's something bonus. These 2 synchro into Marcher, bring back the tuner, then 2-1 into Tatsunoko. Tatsunoko and the level 3 you searched into Coral Dragon. Then Cross and whatever the other monster into a Barricade. That's why I say, like, see, this Renault is actually it's some off its sold, it's not a tuner. And so there are situations where Cross and something else just can't go into either fiber or is sold because they're war types or factors, whatever. That's why Barricade is like good to have something, because then you have 2 machines on the board. Going to Orodon. Do 6 and 3, synchro summon into 9. Coral Dragon's effect will draw you a card. Doesn't even matter what you draw. Since assume you just have absolutely nothing else in your hand, like you open with 4 hand traps, plus scalp and the card for this card, right? You put a card you draw back to the top deck with Plague, and because you drew it off Coral, so technically this is a free one. You go 2 and 3 into 5, then 5-3 into A equip. I usually like to equip fiber since there's not that many warrior in the whole deck. I might need a Soul Engraver Phoenix Blade, and put 2 counters on it. Going to end phase, since this specific combo you have never milled Smoke Grenade. You mill Smoke Grenade now. grab your Phoenix Gearfried, equip Oliver and a smoke grenade, then use Charles effect to pop a smoke grenade. So this is technically a pseudo one card combo, and with you 2 on Appaloosa, 1 again on Savage, 1 rip of Charles Smoke, and 1 pop of Charles Roland. And you have Gearfree left. Technically 3 more cards, but you get the point. And like I said, the Arclight really not being participate in this combo at all. The Axis is an alternative choice if you go second and you don't make Appaloosa, you make Axis to clear some board to get rid of some pressure on the board. And that's why Arclight is the only thing that's like cuttable if I really want to, but that's it. So this is like the first 1 card combo. Reset. So I guess the second I will show, let me see. Oh, where's connector? Alright, this is the single card connector combo. You go normal connector, special dolphin from your deck, pitch something, check hand, then is sold, grab striker, then mill 1, 2, where's Phoenix Blast? 3, summon Torn Scale. Phoenix Blade gonna banish the Neospatians. Then for the cost of Torn Scale, mill and banish Cloak to search Boots. Special Boots, then these 2 go into Cherubini. Cherubini gonna mill Carbonodon. And because you checked your opponent's hands already, right? So you know they're not gonna have like a random Nibiru happen after this part of combo. So for this specific one, what you can do is actually make Link Cross first, then turn everything into Appaloosa. Then your Appaloosa will have 1 extra. Special your PK and Car Bomb. Summon your tuner. Get fiber out plate. This combo you won't use barricade later because here you're just gonna go with Marcher and bring back the level 2 into Tatsunoko and these 2 into Coral, and Marcher and Fiber are gonna turn into Aurodon. Rest are the same. This specific part of combo, you don't need to use Barricade at all, but that's based on you resolve normal connector and resolve Dolphin already. So realistically, you probably still want to summon a Barricade, because it's never going that well in like any of the game in real games, right? So pretty much you can start with either connector or torn scale, and it will pretty much converge back to the same thing. Like once your combo goes through to a point, and let me reset the deck again. There's some other cool tricks you can do. I'll actually draw like a sort of real hand at this point. All right, this is a good one. So for example, we start with torn scale. We already have like a lot of good cards in here, right? This actually, I need this to be in the deck. Take off. I just grab another extender at this point. Torrent Scale and Plague is a decent like synergy because it's a free discard and it's a free tuner afterwards. Banish. special. These two are just, let's see, make Cherubini, and oops, this will get banished. Search the PK. This will be in the graveyard. Then Torn Skull will come back. Some little trick you can do in this specific deck is, I should mention earlier, since you're making it sold under Cherubini, Cherubini has a effect. Remember, it protects BA, so therefore it also protects sold. Why does it matter? Because your soul will never get Gamma here on the search. If they throw it on the search, it's nothing happens. They summon the Gamma, they waste the Gamma, you still continue to do whatever you want. Well, you don't get the search, but that doesn't matter. If you use it on the negate part, you still keep your sold, and that's still just a lot of monster. At least like this can turn into a link cross. So this specific hand I will show with Isolde Mill 3. So 1, 2, 3 to summon Dolphin. So you have enough like extender whatever thing in your hand, right? Then for example, Dolphin, pitch your card, check your hand, check opponent's hand. Then you Durendo to grab Flynn special. So you check your opponent's hand, you know there's nothing. That's into Appaloosa. Oh, I forgot to grab the search. Assume it's there. So this is the other trick I want to talk about. Since your Ordom will never need to summon Mecha Phantom Beast, which is a brick, so you won't have to worry about a brick to draw it, and you won't summon it, you won't use the effect of Ordom. Therefore, the cool trick you can do, well, first of all, we draw one off the Core Dragon. Then you, trick number 1, you can get back the Phoenix Blade and put the Phoenix Blade back to the top deck to summon Plague, which technically you get a free effect. Like the Plague then never had a cost. And since you make Roland, at the end phase, you will just mill the Phoenix Blade again. So the Phoenix Blade end was going to the graveyard no matter what happens. And you don't have to worry about it. Another cool trick you can do, trick number 2, is that since your Aurodon never activate its like second effect to tribute things, you can go like, for example, you have a Renault. Renault can add back the smoke grenade. You equip the smoke grenade to anything but the Renault, then you use Aurodon to tribute the Renault, pop the smoke grenade, rip another extra card, and at the end phase, your Charles will still get the smoke grenade equipped and pop with Charles effect. So this way, you actually, like, if your hands are good enough, you actually rip multiple cards off your opponent's hand while finishing the combo. So that's another, like, trick number 2 you can do with the deck. That's pretty much, I think that's, yeah, the other one is just, like, going seconds, not making apples, making access call talker, and I said that 3 times already, I know that. But yeah, that's pretty much, Arcly is, like, for example, just this specific hand, right? What I can do is like Renault still add by the smoke grenade, but instead of tributing Renault for Orodon, I can tribute the Orodon itself, pop the smoke grenade, then maybe use my magically drew 1 random extender, bring back the cloak, and Cloak can give your Savage an extra 800 attack, but that barely matters. Then you can, if your hands are that godly, make an Arclight with it after ripping 2, which I don't think it is even necessary since your opponent probably scoop already. So yeah, this is some tricks you can do with the deck. Siding wise, like if these cards are going first card, you decide them are going second. If they're going second card, you decide them are going first. That just standard apply to every deck. Other cards you can really side out. I like to side out connector almost all the time going second, since that's just the worst normal summon in my opinion going second. You're dealing with the board more than the back rolls, or you're dealing with the board more than their hand traps when you're going second. Therefore, connector, you just take it out. Dolphin sometimes I might keep, depends on matchup. What if they do have some like more hand trap than average, and I might want to sold out Dolphin at some point going second, which is unlikely, but it can happen. So I might keep Dolphin. There's a non-zero chance I keep it. Um, Red layer is something I like to side out one, since well, what's really something really accomplished you, right? Nothing. And also, you might already have like a Nibiru, a Lost World token, something that's already conflicting with the red layer. So take out one red layer. I like to take out Durando. There's not enough Fire Warrior left in the deck. Like you saw the past the 2-3 combos I just showed. None of them really require noble cards at all. You majorly playing with how broken Torn Scale can, how much advantage Torn Scale by itself can generate to you, and these are just like good extenders. That's another reason why I don't run Heritage with Chalice. Because Heritage with Chalice get you either bad extenders or get you Durando where you could just run Durando by itself and don't worry about that. Because ultimately you're just accessing Durando if you want a good extender like Fireflame or starter like Relic, right? So Durando itself can do the job, but Durando is not necessary or as necessary as the other like more noble version with no PKs. Therefore, I can even side out Durandos. Besides that, just standard like the less powerful, impactful cards like Foolish Burrow can go. I never set out any of these four equips. I know a lot of people set out Smoke Grenade. I think that's just absolutely wrong. You need the amount of equips are necessary in the deck, no matter what version you play. Having one less means there might be a chance you just open, like you think open DDR is good, then you realize you still cannot summon four, then you die because of it. So if that happened to me once, that would never happen to me again. And also, I've like break boards and resolve just Charles, and that's enough to win me the game because I ripped something of my opponent's hand the end phase. Was just Charles left on the board, but still enough. But you just need that to happen sometimes. Um, that's pretty much it. You usually have like plenty of space to side, since connector is taking a lot of spaces, and the third of the three, the the third copy of all the three offs, or technically Relier is a 5 off, right? So these can go out like one or two copies. Um, that's pretty much it. The part I like it is there's more consistent card. Like there's more consistency in my opinion. The real hard brick is the guard dragon, but if you magically have like, for example, Relay or Fireflame, you don't need to normal summon. That's still a tuner. That's probably the worst brick actually. Yeah, there's a lot. There's better normal summons in the deck in terms of Torn skill. Because Torn skill is just much better than like Augur. Think about it. If anyone who's not familiar with the format asking you, what's good in the Noble Knight's core and then for Noble Knight, you tell them the best card in the deck in the engine existing is an Abyss that has no search effect, which is Oliver, which is easy to be in tuner. They probably laugh at you thinking the deck is even good, right? Same case. I just think the Noble Knights, like specifically the Infernoble Knights, are just weak. They just don't do enough by itself for their limited effects. Like Ronaldo's just limited Fire Warrior. How many Fire Warrior even exist in the core pool that has effect? Ignite doesn't even have a real effect, right? So that's why I ended up choosing this like PK variant. Uh, this video probably was supposed to be posted a long time ago, and end of October, early November, probably. That was when it was scheduled. However, I just got distracted from. I just lost motivation playing the game, and I feel at this point it might be already late. Who knows? But overall, I still want to share my opinion on the deck. I hope everyone can still try it when during the last few weeks before the ban list, since we really have a boring format, like everyone know this. And I hope this is something interesting to those like super heavy combo players who's interested in this. I guess that's my take on the Infernoble PK deck profile. Sorry for being late for like a month, but I think that's it. I will be streaming quite often again. I hopefully, and during the next couple weeks, since I think my break is almost over for the game. And if you think this video is like helpful, interesting, whatever you like about it, like, comment on the comment down in the comment section, share to whoever your friends, your testing partners, tell them how good it is. Tell me what's your feedback on it. I think I polished this core like good enough in my opinion, and I honestly don't know what I would change in the skeleton. At least the 7+7+10 flex spot is like personal preference at the point. But yeah, so overall, please like, subscribe to the channel, join my Discord, tell me whatever you want. If you have any specific question, you can find me on either Discord or Facebook. And that's it. So hope this deck is a good take for everyone for this boring format until the ban list changes. Therefore, I will see everyone in the lab in the future. See y'all.